Shalom, Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Akkad, Wa'ahabta Ak Yahweh Elohayika, Bakal Lababka, Wabakal Napashka, Wabakal Ma'aka. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. This is the week of the Torah portion, Parashah, Chayei, which is the life of Shada. And this is the first day Aliyah of the Torah Parashah, Chayei. Okay. And of course, this covers the life of our mother, Shada, which is Sarah in the English. And actually, this is kind of sad. This particular Torah section here, because I mean, we barely got to know our mother. You know, she comes on the scene with Abraham. She goes into two places with him, Gerar and Egypt. People want to kill him to get to her. Then she's told she's going to have a child, and she laughs. And she has a run-in with, she gives Abraham her maid, Hagar. And then Hagar starts to get disrespectful towards her, so she sends Hagar away. So then Hagar comes back, and then Ishmael picks up that same spirit and is mocking toward Hagar, mocking toward Sarah. And then Sarah, or Shada, says to kick out essentially Ishmael and his mother. And Yahweh told Abraham to go ahead and, let them go. And that's pretty much, she had Isaac, and she weaned Isaac for 3 years, approximately, more than likely. And that's pretty much what we know about our mother from those scriptures. We know she called Abraham Lord. She was, good, righteous toward him. So we start in Genesis chapter 23, and we're going to read verses 1 through 16 for this particular Torah reading. Now remember, when you're reading the scriptures, these are brown-skinned people. These are not white people. I always have to make sure we understand that. So we look at the scriptures from our perspective instead of from a foreigner's perspective. These are people that look like us, come from the same background we come from, that have the same genetics as we have. So, okay, so this is our biological family, okay? So I'll start in verse 1. Now, Shada, of course, is the wife of Abraham, okay? And was old Shada 100 years and 20 years and 7 years. The years of the life of Shada. So died Shada in Kirjath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and came Abraham to mourn for Shada and to weep for her. So he's coming to mourn and weep for her. She passed away. All right. And stood up Abraham from before his dead wife and spoke to the sons of Heth, saying, now, of course, the sons of Heth, Chath, these are the Hittites, one of the families of Canaan, saying, a foreigner and a visitor I am among you. Give me property or possession, inheritance. Give me property, a burial place among you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. So he wants a place as a cemetery. He's a foreigner in that land. Now contrast how he's treated as a foreigner in the land to how Lot was treated. They wanted to, defile Lot and his visitors, commit sins against them. And here these Hittites are trying to be, they're going to try to be a little more friendly toward our father, Abraham. All right. So now let's go into verse 5. And answered the sons of Heth to Abraham, saying to him, hear us, my Lord, a prince mighty you are among us. In the choicest of our places, bury your dead. So they say you are very powerful leader among us. Just pick a place and it's yours. Continuing in verse 6. Your bury your dead. And this says Ish Ayas, which means man. It says a man of us, his burying place, none will withhold from you, that you may bury your dead. So basically saying that nobody, no man among us is going to, as you can see, I didn't translate that word. So this right here means man. So a man from among us, all right? A man from among us, his burying place, none will withhold from you. So anybody that has land that can be used from burying, nobody's going to withhold it from. So basically you have to pick whatever you want is yours to bury. Verse 7. And stood up about a ham and bowed himself to the people. So he showed a form of humility. He prostrated himself to the people of the land, the sons of Heth, as a gesture to say, I respect that. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Verse 8. And he spoke with them, saying, if it is your wish that I bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and meet for me Ephron, son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, or Machpalah, which he has, which is at the end of his field, at the price full, let him give it to me among you as property for a burial. And so he said, okay, this guy, he's saying that Ephron, Zohar's boy, he has at the end of his field a cave over there in Machpelah. Let me have that to bury as a burial plot. Verse 10. And Ephron was sitting among the sons of Heth and answered. And answered Ephron the Hittite to Abraham in the presence of the sons of Heth, all who entered at the gate of his city, saying. So this was taking place, he answered the men that sat at the entrance of the city, the gate, basically going into the leaders, the elders, who would sit at the gates to see who was coming in, who was coming out, and they would have like court. They would do counseling, things of that nature there. Okay. Verse 11. Now, my Lord, or Adanya, hear me. The field I give you, and the cave that is in it, to you I give it in the presence of the sons of my people. I give it to you to bury your dead. So Abraham went into this meeting with the Gentiles of the land he's dwelling in, knowing exactly what he wanted. He did his research. He reviewed the property, the land. He knew what was available. And he's telling them exactly what he wants. He's prepared to make an offer, as we can see. And bowed down Abraham before the people of the land. So Abraham, before he talks to these people, he's bowing down. Now remember, he's a great man, great leader, great king, like a sheikh almost, with hundreds of soldiers at his disposal. But he's bowing down to the people in their land during this whole negotiation of acquiring a burying place. Verse 13. And he spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, But if you please hear me, I will give you money for the field. Take it from me, and I will bury my dead there. So he wants to pay for the field. And answered Ephron to Abraham, saying to him, Adonai, my Lord, listen to me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver between me and you. What is that? So you're dead buried. All right. So you can Wa'ath and Tua told your dead buried at this place 400 pieces of silver. And listen about Aham to Ephron, and weighed out about Aham for Ephron the silver, which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, according to the standard of the merchants. All right. This is carried over with the traders. Okay. As the traders, according to the standard of the traders. All right. So he 400 pieces of silver, or rather 400 shekels of silver. We don't know how many pieces it was, but the weight of it was 400 shekels, and he weighed it out to him, and that was the price for the field. Now they had told him up here saying, whatever you want, you can give it. Whatever you want, you can have it. All right. They said, we'll give it to you. He said, to you I give it. In the presence of the son of my people, I give it to you. Bury your dead. Bow down Abraham. All right, before the people of the land. So the guy essentially gave Abraham the field. Now Abraham comes back in verse 13 and says, what's the value of it, man? And he told him the price, and he gave it to him. So that's the long and short of this Torah portion this week. I keep having problems on the Facebook side of it staying on. So on Facebook, I'm gonna stop and maybe come back on. But actually, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We don't have to go into a lot of other aspects, of it. He dealt with these Gentiles. They were fair to him. They were more than fair to him. He was fair to them. He gave them a fair price. Like they say, fair exchange is no robbery. He didn't try to push his weight around and say, well, you know what I did with these other Hamites up the road when I delivered them from King Chedorlaomer and Tidal, But they respected him, had a lot of honor in his eyes. He had a lot of honor in their eyes, and they gave him a good price. So that's the burial of our mother Sarah. Okay. That's the burial of our mother Sarah, and that's who we come from. So when the scripture talks about even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, this is that same Sarah. This is the same Sarah that is talking about, which was the wife Shaddah of Abraham. So that's the Torah portion that's the Torah portion Aliyah. The Aliyah for today, the first day. So I really thank you for your time. Now we can also kind of kind of see this going into a foreshadow of he got this important burial tomb kind of last minute when a death came upon him, and kind of same kind of like a foreshadow into Yahushua. His burial plot was kind of acquired at the last minute through Joseph of Arimathea, who buried Yahushua in his cave, his sepulcher, which is a burial plot uh, cut out of a rock, which could be a man-made cave or a naturally occurring cave. All right, so that's pretty much it. So we can see Yahushua in this also. And also you see that about Aham, he bowed down to people that were really essentially less than him. And we can see that in Hamashiach Yahushua also, how he bowed down to people that were essentially less than him and under him, also his students, which was very unheard of in those days. He bowed down to his own students and washed their feet. Okay, wash their feet. So we can see different parts of our forefathers in different parts of their life situations being expressed again in the life of Yahushua, the Messiah, which, by the way, as you know, is a black man that died for our sins. All right. So I'm having some trouble with this little Facebook broadcast. It keeps stopping and telling me I need to reload the site. It always does this consistently whenever it starts. So I have to figure out a way to stop this from happening. So Yahweh be with you all in the name of Hamashiach Yahushai. And if you want, you can actually come over to Facebook Live, and you can come over to YouTube, and I might continue. I'll go ahead and try to get that link now. Give me a second. All right, so people, yeah, I'm having this little difficulty that I always have, so I'll figure out how to. I gotta figure out how to stop this thing because it's quite a challenge to site. Right, because it's actually quite difficult and distracting, man, when this happens. And guess that's it now. All right, so guess we're gonna stop on this. We're gonna go ahead and try to stop on this broadcast over here on Google. Also, I'll try to get that problem fixed so we can get that straightened out. So the Torah lesson was pretty straightforward, understandable. Gave the parallels to Hamashiach. So may the Most High Yahweh be with you in the name of Yahushua, Hamashiach, Shalom Lakam.